Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
What's up, everyone? How you guys doing? Thank you for joining us on AMP. Welcome to another episode of Coach's Corner. I'm your host, Coach Maelo, and I'm joined by the most energetic entertainer.
Yes.
Manni Supreme.
Yes.
What's up, man? How you doing?
How you feeling? Episode 2, baby.
Doing all right, man. Doing all right.
I actually thoroughly enjoyed our first conversation. I feel like we got a chance to delve into all of the great 2Ks. We got I like to know people's why for 2K because, you know, some people just get on for different reasons. But, you know, last episode was great. Shout out to everybody who's already tapped in. How you feeling today, Coach?
Feeling great, man. Feeling great. We just finished practice.
Yeah.
Had a great day in practice. Getting ready for that ticket tournament.
Yeah.
And looking forward to the rest of the season, man.
All firing on all cylinders now, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know, like, it's funny. We talked 2K first episode. Today, I want us to, like, talk about the other things that we talk on this show. You know, like, because it's not only 2K, but esports as a whole. But also, like, the gaming culture, Atlanta, entertainment, things that are going on in our community, you know. And for that today, man, like, maybe we just want to talk a little bit about, like, our own experiences with these topics. Like, what's your experience with esports other than Hawks Talon GC?
Man, so shout out to one of my good guys. His name's Rod. He introduced me to esports actually, because like I understood, like I always played 2K. I never really been good with like the shooting games and stuff, but I just realized the world of esports is just so big, right? And so there was this company called Access Replay, and like they were doing activations around COVID and stuff like that, and I was just really able to see how not only lucrative it is, but how big the world is, right? And how you can immerse so many different things from entertainment to hip hop to just whatever you want it to be, movies, you know, just into the esports culture. And then there were like a couple of HBCU tournaments that I got a chance to like, you know, pay attention to that like Morris Brown had here. And if you're not familiar with Morris Brown, it's one of the colleges here in the city. That's a part of the AUC. But yeah, man, you know, my introduction to esports has been pretty recent. I would say like I was able to understand what all has been a part of it, like around COVID. Well, I know you got a wide vast of knowledge.
Yeah, for me, it was actually the same.
Really?
Yeah. Like, interesting enough. Like, for me, like, I knew about esports. I was a fan before. Like, I knew about the 2K League probably since 2K17.
Yeah.
Before that, man, I was a big fan of, like, fighting games, shooting games. I would watch, like, tournaments, the Call of Duty.
You were like Mortal Kombat type?
Yeah, I'm more of a Street Fighter guy. Like, I would watch, like, the Evo, like, all those tournaments, big tournaments that are hosted here in the United States. And, like, man, like, I was just a big fan of, like, the Japanese fighting gaming culture and, like, how they pull up all these big tournaments, these big events, like League of Legends. Like, that was a huge one that I followed once. Yeah. And then, like, I was more of a sports guy myself, man, and it wasn't until the pandemic, actually, that I actually decided, like, maybe I should pursue a career in esports and gaming and all that.
What made it click for you? What made it be like, you know what, I got to do this?
So, yeah, like, I'm a big fan of 2K, you know, like I play the game. I'm a huge fan of basketball. I grew up in basketball, so that was kind of like my sport. And then like during the pandemic, I was playing the game a lot more than ever before in my life.
Everybody's home.
So everyone was home. Like we was working from home. Like I was probably playing 6-7 hours a day at that time.
Right.
Maybe more than that.
I know you had a couple 99.
Yeah. No, I had a couple. I was actually a legend that year.
Really?
I made it to legend that year. That was crazy.
That's fine.
So yeah, like that year, man, like. The FIBA, the International Basketball Federation, they put together a esports tournament, like bringing all the national teams to play 2K in like an international tournament. So I put together the Dominican Republic team. We went out there, man, and we ended up winning the whole thing. Like we defeated the United States in the finals for the gold medal, and that was kind of it. Like that was the moment I was like, man, like I was just playing around with this, and
this is something I got.
Yeah, like we put a team together. We went to this tournament. We ended up winning the whole thing. Like maybe there's something here for me, you know. Like that was kind of like my introduction to like competitive esports, like on a professional side. Yeah. And from that point on, man, I was like, all right, I want to make this a career, and I just started pursuing it.
That's fine. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Make sure that you know we want to hear from you guys, right? So comment, let us know what's going on. Last episode, you guys were very active. You guys really helped spark the conversation, honestly. And then the great thing about AMP, shout out to AMP, you guys can chime in on the conversation with us. It's not just a podcast; it's a combo. So when you get a chance, type in the chat. We want to know who's in here, and then request to call in. We want to talk to you guys, see what the energy is, and we got a couple questions for y'all. So, with gaming, how did you start gaming?
Man, I feel like that's probably the question I get the most.
Yeah.
Like everyone's always asking me like, oh, how do you start gaming? Like, how do you get into that? But I feel like I've always been gaming.
Really?
Like, yeah. Like I feel like
What system did you start on?
I feel the first console I owned was a PS1. But like my cousins, they had like the Super Nintendos and the Nintendo 64. So like when I was younger, like I would go to their houses and play the game, like the Super Mario's, the Mario 64. Like those games were like probably the first games that I actually got my hands on.
The classics.
But yeah, like the ones that I would say like actually got me into the gaming culture, that I was like actually, like playing the game for hours, like arguing with my mom because she wanted to take my console away and all that. Yeah, it was like the PS1 classics, like the Final Fantasies and those games. Like I was a big RPG guy.
Yeah.
Just playing I remember, I think it was Final Fantasy 7.
Yeah.
Like that one. I remember it was like 7 discs just to finish the game.
That's crazy.
Back in the day.
Did you finish the game though?
I think I did. Multiple times actually. Like that was my game, and that was the game I was playing over and over and over again. Because it wasn't that easy to like to get new games and all that like back in the day. Yeah. So yeah, like I feel like that's how I started gaming, and ever since, man, I've owned a lot of consoles after that. Like I've always had like all the PlayStations. I had a GameCube. I had an Xbox once. And then just, like playing as much as I can, honestly. That's kind of one of my hobbies, one of the things that I enjoy doing the most.
I feel that. I definitely started with the Nintendo DS. Like that was like the end all be all. I got in trouble. My mom's definitely taking that. So like, of course, the Mario Kart, stuff that you could just play with your cousins and stuff like that. But like I said, shout out to NBA 2K13. That was my first 2K, and I think that was my first like game on Xbox, because I just remember when I had got it. You remember when GameStop, and I don't know if GameStop still does that, but like the pre-owned games and stuff like that, because I was like way late to the party. So by the time 2K13 was already out for like a couple of months, and I just remember persuading my mom to like, "Lo, I gotta get this." And I was only playing this version of this game for the longest because I didn't have any other games for that. So like, I'll definitely say when I got my Xbox 360, that changed stuff. And then I immediately jumped over, because I hate always having to put batteries in my controller. I immediately jumped over to PlayStation, and it was a wrap.
So you would say that's the game you first fell in love with?
That was like the first game I actually fell in love with. I was like, yo, I have to play this. And I just remember that was around the time, like I mentioned last episode, where it snowed here in Atlanta, and I just remember like, yes, I can just play this all day.
That's cool.
And yeah, that's what I can definitely say is like help start and kickstart my jump into gaming for real.
That's great, man. That's great to hear.
Yeah.
I feel like for me, probably the game that I actually fell in love with, that I put the more hours in, was Elder Scrolls Skyrim. It's another RPG, but it's just like so compelling, bro. Like the story is so compelling. Like you can do so much in that game that it was just, for me, just like kind of like transported me into like a whole different world.
A whole different dimension.
Yeah, like that game was like the one that I was like, okay, man, like this gaming thing, like it
helps get it started.
It got me.
Like I mentioned before, make sure you guys call in. We want to talk to you guys, comment in the chat. We want to answer all you guys' questions. Shout out to Paper Cash. He was kicking it with us first episode. Cinco Wallace is back. Cinco Wallace, one-on-one. Another question for Coach. Who's better, the GM, Coach West, or Coach Milo?
Man,
I gotta see that for myself.
So actually, I would say we're about the same.
Have y'all played?
Yeah, we played together. We're teammates in the offseason. Like we played together in pre-draft. I want to say last year we were playing together. Yeah, like around November.
Same position or?
Nah, Wes is a center. I'm more of a guard. Okay. Like I was carrying him.
Have you ever ran twos together before?
We did for a little bit. We got popped. We went to the park and we got dominated.
Who was the issue?
I would say it was Wes.
One day we're gonna have to get Wes in here. He
just didn't know how to set the screen, man. Like I was struggling with the screens, man.
He say his piece.
But he can get the boards though. Like he's a rebounder.
I feel it. Shout out to Wes, man. Honestly, I mean, I want to delve more into it. Esports and gaming in the DR. Like, I know the culture here in the U.S. is growing, like with esports, but is it as big over there as it is here?
Man,
or is it bigger?
I think it might be bigger. Like I feel like fighting games, especially, like they have like a really big impact in the Dominican youth right now. Like we have, I don't know if you're familiar with like the fighting gaming community, but like the biggest tournament for Street Fighter is like the Capcom Cup. Like they do it every year. It's like $1 million in prize. And actually, the 2-time champion is a Dominican guy. Like it's a guy that came from the hoods of the Dominican Republic. He made it out of nowhere. He ended up flying to the United States to play this cup, and he won it.
That's crazy.
Like it was just one of those like underdog stories that you actually like, like you get happy about. So that was like huge. Although it was all over the news, all over the newspapers, like everyone in the country was like, "Whoa! Like you can make millions of dollars playing video games," and that kind of like sparked that conversation. So now there's like national tournaments, like people are getting on Valorant now. They have like a couple really good teams. Like
that's hard.
We have like League of Legends professionals. Like I'm here with the NBA 2K League. Like the things we did with the national team when we won, like some of those guys made it to the league as well. And man, like it's just really, really, really gratifying to see how the community is growing in the Dominican Republic, and not only in the Dominican Republic, but also in the Caribbean, as a whole. Like the Latin American community in gaming is also like really, really big, and that just speaks about like how special this esports movement is. How is it growing not only in the United States and Europe, but also like in Latin America and all the regions of the world. So it's really, really exciting.
Shout out to Having TR, our first call in. Willie Williams from Cartridge ATL. Shout out to Cartridge ATL. We're gonna have him go ahead and join in. First off, how are you? Good, man. We appreciate you for hopping on, talking to us. We got a couple questions for you. First off, I was just gonna throw a crazy one out there. What's your favorite 2K? Why? First off,
that's your favorite.
First off,
that's your favorite.
I rock with you. We're already best friends because that's my favorite 2K. But why?
So 13, I think 13 was when they won championships, and that was pretty cool. Around the same time, and then also the soundtrack was just dope.
Right.
Yeah.
I was talking about that last.
There was some bangers on there. That's dope.
All right, Willis. So, tell us more about this Cartridge ATL stuff. Like, what is it all about?
Cartridge ATL, we're a black-owned and operated gaming pop-up here in Atlanta, focused on bridging the gap between like gaming and tournaments and Atlanta culture, and also community building. So, in our community, we have a bunch of gamers, producers, artists. It's like a big networking hub who all come together because they have the love of gaming and anime and all of that stuff. So you get to see a lot of dope producers, a lot of dope DJs, host a lot of really cool tournaments, and got a lot of different opportunities here in the city.
That's fire. So how long has it been established? Like how long have you guys been up and running?
We've been up and running. It'll be 3 years in October.
Fire.
We started off at this one little place called One Kid.
Fire.
And it was right after, right at the end of the pandemic. We were just trying to get the homies to come together and play games, and we missed that type of vibe and stuff. And then people were starting to ask us to play sets, and kind of just morphed into something.
That's fire.
Hey Willie, before we get into the details of Cartridge ATL and all that, I want to ask you what are your thoughts of the Atlanta esports scene right now? Where do you see the scene and how is it developing?
I think it's cool. It's big, but I think that sometimes it's kind of hard to navigate it. And when I say that, just know where certain events are going on and when they're going on. I feel like there isn't a loss of events here in the esports scene. It's just sometimes I just don't know about them.
Yeah, definitely the idea of getting the advertisement out there is key.
People will tell me about things in past, and I'm like, how am I supposed to know that?
Right. You got to get on threads now, man. That's the new wave. You got to get on threads. Literally. Hey, pull up. We're here. Now, speaking of events and stuff happening in the city, what have been some of your favorite esports events that Cartridge ATL has been able to put together and host?
About 2 years ago, we did a Tekken 6 warehouse tournament with Coca-Cola and community, and it was dope. We had DJs. They set the whole warehouse. It looked like some apocalyptic kind of stuff. Huge stage. We had TOs and commentators and stuff. It was pretty dope.
That's fire.
And, we also did Spelman and Morehouse. What do they call it? Yeah, Spellhouse. For their homecoming, we did an activation with Red Bull in the middle of this Walmart parking lot for this Tekken 6 tournament. And that was pretty cool because there was already a Tekken tournament happening at 404 Esports. So we were able to get some of the guys who flew in town to, who were playing that to come play with us as well.
That's hard. That's hard.
And from your point of view, like as an organizer and all that, like what would you say are the most popular games that the Atlanta community has been like pursuing or wanting to compete at? Like the more talent is being developed right now.
All right, so if I'm judging it from like being on the scene, just in the streets, especially at these like smaller local ones, I would say that Smash Bros is like super big here. 2K is super big here. And then Tekken, people love Tekken. Street Fighter 6 has like reinterested people into Street Fighter.
Right.
It's a great game. I've been seeing that played a lot now. But I would say Smash Bros, Tekken, and I see a lot of 2K tournaments.
That's great, man. Like, do you play any of those games? Like, what's your favorite game?
Yeah. I play all of those games. I lean more towards like RPGs and then like battle royales, but I love 2K. I love Smash Bros. I've been playing it since it came out. I play it every week. We have an event where we do it every week. So yeah, the community there is super strong. All the kids are like in Discords together, playing each other at home and online, and just getting better and coming back and going to other tournaments, and it's awesome.
That's great, man. We were just talking about like what our experience with gaming was, like how we got started with gaming, like what was our first game that we actually fell in love with. And you mentioned RPGs, like I'm the same, like I'm an RPG guy. Like I was saying that my first game that I actually like lost it with was probably Skyrim, the Elder Scrolls 5. Yeah, so like just passing that question on to you, like what was your first game that actually made you like lose it and get into it so much?
This might be a lame one to say, but Pokemon, like on the Game Boy.
The Game Boys, yeah.
I started playing those, and I was like, oh man, okay, like there's something to these like turn-based games. That's how I got into RPGs. Because before I would just watch my brother play like Tomb Raider and like all older stuff like that. But like Pokemon, and then I got an N64, and on my N64 I had Zelda and a bunch of other random games, and I was just like, all right, cool. So I did,
No, I respect it. I put a lot of hours into Pokemon as well, so I respect it.
Yeah.
I feel that. Now, have any of you or your friends like ever tried to make the NBA 2K League before?
Yeah, not me per se, but my homie Glitch has. His name is his tag name is Glitch Snow. He's an Xbox player. He loves 2K, pretty good at it.
We lost him.
I don't know if you cut out there. Willie, you still with us? All right, well, we're trying to keep Willie in the conversation, having a couple technical difficulties. Willie, if you're able to join us back, please join us back. I had a great conversation going
Man,
on.
I want to know more about that.
I
want to know more about that. Some more questions.
Who's tried out before? But Coach, I mean, do you have any friends that's tried to make the NBA 2K League before?
Man, I got a lot of friends that actually try to make it. I tried to make it myself.
Really?
Yeah, I tried to make it myself. Like the first 2 seasons, I remember they had like a game mode within 2K. It was called NBA Combine.
Yeah.
Like I played in both of those. Like you had to like qualify for that. You had to play. I felt like it was 100 games in the rec or the pro am.
Yeah.
And you needed to have like a 75% winning percentage.
Really?
Before you could qualify for the NBA Combine. And man, I did all that. Like me and my IRLs, we did all that. We joined the Combine. I put actually some pretty decent numbers.
That's fire.
I was scoring like 20 points a game.
That's fire.
I want to say like 26 and 6, but I didn't make it. Like I wasn't one of the 102 players that got selected that season. I know Wes, Wes is a friend of mine. And he was going for the league as well. I know that. And then the guys that I've been able to coach, man, like either in the 2K League or in retail, pre-draft as we call it, and like the international scene as well. Like some of those guys try to make it to the NBA 2K League. I want to say like maybe half of them have made it already. But yeah, it's not easy, man. It's a process, and it's really not easy.
Yeah, I feel that for sure. I feel like I got to get a little bit better. My win percentage right now is nowhere near 75%. So, I got a lot more stuff that I'm working on. But shout out to Willie. We're about to get him added back in here. Willie, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you guys. I don't know what happened.
Wi-Fi, man. Technology, man.
It happens. It happens.
Can't depend on it. Can't live without it, man. But getting back to it. So you said you have had some friends that's tried out for the NBA 2K League before.
Yeah, which he tried out. I don't think it went as good as he wanted it to go, but still an excellent player. I'm sure he'll try out again.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, one of our other questions that we have for you, like personally to you, who is the best 2K player in the city in Cartridge?
I don't know, because these guys be taking and winning it. Sometimes we win it, they be losing. Also, we don't have the technology like how Skyhawks have it, to where you can boot up those loaded players and all that. So they're usually playing like laptop or playing with teams and stuff. So that's probably a different question for a different guy.
I feel that. Now, before we get out of here, man, are there any Cartridge ATL upcoming events?
Oh yeah, man. July we got a bunch of them coming up. So every Monday we do a Smash Bros tournament at Chiba Hut. That's like right next to Georgia Tech. We get a lot of Georgia Tech and Georgia State kids that come to that, plus our own crowd that comes. So that's usually packed. That's every Monday. On the 19th, we'll be at Reverie, which is a VR bar off of Ponce. We'll be doing basically popular esports games, 2K, Street Fighter 6, all that. It's more like a dance party geared towards like DJs. Then we have Urban Nerd Con, the 21st and the 23rd. We'll be hosting a slew of tournaments there at the Sheraton downtown, from Street Fighter 6 to Tekken to like Rocket League. We'll be doing a 2K tournament, so a bunch of things. So that'll be a little con that's happening downtown the 21st or 23rd. And then we have our usual Cartridge Wednesdays. We're moving locations. We'll be at the Treehouse in East Atlanta starting on the 26th of July. And then that'll be 3 Wednesdays out the month.
Okay, for sure. Well, definitely for everybody who's in here, make sure you guys check out Cartridge ATL. We really appreciate you guys for, hopping in and talking to us, man. We wish you the best of luck on your endeavors. But, Milo.
I mean, I don't know if people in the chat want to talk to Willie, maybe some questions for him.
Yes.
Feel free to throw them in.
Yes.
We're going to make sure to let you guys join the conversation as well.
Yes. Shout out to Cinco Wallace. He asked, Willie, do you like watch any games? Any 2K League games?
So I watched the highlights from the Talons page.
I feel
that's
good
enough, man.
That's good enough. You're tapped in enough. You're tapped in enough. He also asked, what was your favorite game? Of just what you've seen, highlights wise.
Or maybe like in general?
Or in general.
Your favorite game?
Yeah.
My favorite game that I watched them play?
Yeah.
Or that you played? I don't know. There's not a lot of context in that question. It might be either or.
It might be both. Might be all of the above.
I know last year Taylor pulled me into. I guess there was another team coming. I think it was the Minnesota team. I might be mistaken. But they were like, just everybody was talking trash, and we ended up coming up with a dub.
Yeah, that was the Hornets. Yeah, I remember that day. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Because I'm sitting there like just watching it happen all IRL. And I'm like, oh yeah, this is just like how we play 2K.
I feel that 100%. Well, like I said before, man, shout out to Cartridge ATL. If you guys are in this chat, make sure you guys check them out on the gram. Shout out your socials real quick so they know where to follow you at.
You can follow us everywhere at Cartridge ATL, CartridgeATL. We're on all platforms. Yeah, if you guys have any information, feel free to DM the page, shoot us emails. If you guys are DJs, producers that want to perform at any of these shows, please let us know. We'd be happy to throw you in rotation. If you're trying to get into some tournaments, we'll point you to wherever games that you play in the direction that we're going with them.
100%. Hey, man, we appreciate you for being tapped in with us. We wish you the best of luck on your endeavors. And anytime we see you, me and Milo, we got to get you on the sticks one time,
get busy, man. We got to get busy.
Oh, please. Hey, what bills do y'all play?
Right now, I got a 3-level scorer who plays the 5. He's
That's
dope.
good. That's good.
He's dope.
I'm playing like a 2-way shooting guard, like type of like a inside-out shooting guard, 3-point heavy.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I usually play like a perimeter a big proponent of lockdown.
Lockdown. Okay. But I also play other games too, man. Like we can get busy in Smash or Street Fighter. Like I got the Street Fighter 6. That's the game I'm playing the most right now. So yeah.
You guys should definitely pull up to one of the events sometime.
Nah, for sure. We'd love to, man. We'd love to.
Well, I'll let you guys later. I appreciate y'all having me.
Of course.
Thank you, man. Thank you for joining. And we'll be talking.
Later.
That was dope, man. Shout out to Carver JTL. Like we said, man, we always want to hear from you guys. We want to know who's doing what in the city. Who's letting us know what's going on. Shout out to Cinco Wallace. He says, Manny, I think you can beat Milo. Before we cut the mic on, I told Milo we definitely got to get on the stick so we can.
That's not gonna happen.
We're gonna see who
after the show. We're gonna go downstairs. We're gonna get busy.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah, we're gonna do it. We're gonna make it happen.
I'm down. 100%.
Man. All right, man. Let's go back to 2K League talk.
Yes.
Let's talk a little bit about the turn.
Yes.
The turn is going on right now, actually. If you join Twitch and you go to NBA 2K League, you're going to see the games right now. They're playing the first round of bracket play. Mm-hmm. We got the Jazz Gaming versus Nets Gaming crew right now going on, man, and that's a good one. I just want to share with you, like, my predictions.
I'm about to say, how do you think it's going to pan out?
Man, I feel like the Nets are really, really strong. That was a team that was in our group in this last tournament, man. They beat us when we played them. It was a good game. It was a close game. Maybe like a couple plays towards the end defined that game, but they went undefeated in group play. Like they're on a 6-game winning streak right now, and I don't think they're gonna be able. I don't think the Jazz is gonna be able to stop him. Honestly, I think they're gonna go maybe all the way to the Final Four of this tournament, and that's my hot take right now.
That's fine.
Yeah. On the other end, you have the Pacers and Gen G, the Tigers of Shanghai. Like they're also playing. Gen G is a team that's actually playing really well as well. So I like Gen G to win that series. We'll see how it goes, but I feel like Gen G and the Nets, they're probably going to take this first round, and it's just another. It just goes to show how packed the Eastern Conference is, man. Like I know we probably didn't perform the way we wanted to. Like we didn't win as many games, but like our conference was stacked. Like like all the really good teams are on the East, and they're showing that right now in this turn tournament. Because the turn is when like the bracket play, instead of playing Eastern teams, you play West teams. So it's like kind of like interconference games. And man, they've been showing out for sure. Like those two teams are probably one of the strongest teams in the NBA 2K League right now, and they're showing it.
Okay, for sure. Shout out to everybody in the chat. We want to know, what are you guys' predictions about the tournament? Who do you guys think is going to be able to take it all? Who's going to be able to go ahead and get those wins? And shout out to Cinco Wallace 101 again. Does Coach still have that mustache? I remember a coach talking smack about it way back.
Man, I do.
In full effect.
It's here.
And it's curved.
It's curved.
It's activated. It's activated.
But yeah, man, that was my friend actually. That other coach, that was Coach Nick from the T-Wolves gaming, man. Like he was trolling me on stage, saying that he's never gonna lose to a coach with a mustache like mine and all that. Like this is not the 1950s or something like that. He said. I mean, he's just jealous. Yeah, he can grow. He can't grow it. That's what it is. That's all it is. He just can't grow it. That's all it was. But it was just friendly smack. You know what I mean? Like it was just friendly.
I feel it 100%. Like I said before, we definitely want to talk to you guys. That's the great thing about AMP. You guys can join the conversation. Just make sure you guys are requesting, letting us know how you guys are feeling about today. How are you feeling about today, Coach? The weather in Atlanta has been very hot, but
Man, no, I love the summer, honestly.
Really?
Like the summer is my favorite time of the year. Like in the summer, I go down to the pool. I like going to the rivers, the lakes, the beach. I like going on hikes.
Just vibing out.
Yeah, for me, the summer is probably the best time of the year, and I actually miss this. I come from the Caribbean. Like I'm used to
that's
hot.
The vibe. That's
I'm used to hot and water and all that, so I needed that. I needed that.
I feel that. Have you seen any more updates about this new 2K that's coming out, or has it still just been the same?
It's pretty much the same. I heard there's going to be like some tweaks in like the defensive systems and like how the animations are going to be working on that, but they always tweak some stuff. Until I get my hands on it, I won't be able to like actually give you like an in-depth analysis of how the game is different from previous 2Ks. But man, I'm excited. I'm really excited about the new 2K. I already pre-ordered it. I'm just waiting for
Did you get
in September.
Is it a Mamba edition?
Yeah, the Mamba edition. Yeah, of course. Okay. You gotta get the Mamba edition.
And how much VC does that come with? I might have to go ahead and put some deckies to the side for that.
250,000. It's good for maybe like half a build.
And how much is the game? 150 or is it 200?
I mean, if you get the Mamba edition, it's $150. Yeah. But you get like a whole you get like a whole bunch of like content for my team, and you're my player. You get like exclusive gear and all that in the game. Like, it's worth it if you're a 2K head like we are. But and also like if you're a Kobe fan, like I feel like you want to have the Mamba edition. You gotta get the Mamba edition.
So do you? Okay, now what version of the PlayStation 5 do you have? Do you have the disc and the digital? Or
No, I have the digital, just the digital. Yeah, I like the digital better. I don't really be playing disc games like that, man. And the digital gets it done. So
yeah, it's like why not? Shout out to Cinco Wallace again, Coach. Don't waste your VC to lose to Wes and Manni.
No, I would never, man. Like those are gonna be my teammates. Actually, we're gonna run. We're gonna run together. We're gonna be pulling up to the park. We're gonna go play pro-am.
We're gonna be mobbing out.
Yes, sir.
Now, Coach, I got a question for you. How important is content creation with esports?
Man, I feel like right now content creation is probably the most important thing in esports and gaming as a whole, man. I feel like without content creation, our community doesn't really get to see our pros and the guys that are behind all this stuff that we're getting done. And honestly, you know, like in this day and age, bro, like content creation that's probably what it. Like it's the most important thing right there. Yeah, I feel like it's like a transversal to all areas, like in esports, in entertainment, music, sports. Like content creation is major right now, and the connection and like how close it is to like gaming and streaming and all that stuff. You know, like it just makes it that much more bigger.
Role for sure.
Like those guys are like the biggest influencers out there right now. They all started playing the game. You know, like they all started playing games and uploading videos to YouTube and all that, and they blew up and transitioned into something different.
Yeah.
Like you see guys like, I don't know, like Speed.
You see way Kai. Back in the day, like the Pretty Boy Fredo.
Right, Pretty Boy Fredo. I remember he was a 2K guy on YouTube, and then he just blew up and started doing.
Pretty Boy Fredo was actually the person who put me on the park. I was just like this is a thing. Like you going with your friends,
right? And then Agent was also a 2K guy. Like all of these guys, like they just started playing the game, and they kind of built a community through content creation, and that just took them to something totally different, man. And it's just really big to see like some of the guys that we have right now on the team. They kind of have like smaller communities that follow them, but like MDS, he's a guy that I know. He's a streamer. He streams a lot. Like he's signed to OTF Gaming and all that, and you know like his content creation skills is probably what's gonna separate him from the rest of the pros in the 2K league. So you know like homing those skills and like actually working on content creation is the way that you ensure your like longevity in the league, and not only in the league but like in the esports business as a whole. Like maybe you're not a player anymore, but you can transition into like a I don't know, like a broadcaster, or you can be like a streamer or an analyst, or you can be a coach even. And just the content creation alone, like the streaming revenues and all that, like that's good enough to like make a living, you know.
Yeah, and continue to keep the momentum going for sure.
What do you think? You're a content creator yourself.
Man, it's funny because like, you know, I do radio now, but I started with YouTube, like just making videos and doing the whole thing. I never really got a chance to like, you know, the streaming setups now are so much better than what it was like even a couple years ago. So I have told myself I do want to start streaming, but it's just like I've heard that. Now I must ask, is obviously streaming through the PC is better than the actual system, right? Yeah. And so like, you know, I've seen people play. Is it a real difference between PC and like the actual console?
I mean, most of the streamers that I know, like the 2K streamers, they stream consoles, but they stream it through the PC. So you gotta be like a whole setup where your PS5 is connected to your PC, and then
you're showing what's going on,
and you're showing what you're playing and all that. But like overall though, like I would recommend PC for streaming as a whole. Like if you're gaming and you're playing any type of game, like the PC is probably gonna give you a better performance. But also like content creation doesn't necessarily has to be streaming. You know what I mean? Like you can do like TikTok
Reels,
videos,
Like have you got a chance to get on Threads yet?
Man, nah. I'm.
Are you not gonna join Threads? Are you gonna be limited to your 6,000 tweets a day?
Eventually, I will have to join. I'm just waiting. I just want to see like how legit is it gonna be? Like if everyone's gonna move to Threads and all that. But
see, I like it because of just the direct translation with Instagram,
right?
And it's not like Twitter, where it's like you have 4 followers on Twitter, but you have 100,000 likes. It's like the translation between like the followers and the people who
and the interactions. Nah, that makes sense. I'm gonna have to check it out. But like honestly, like a couple years ago, I told myself like I'm not gonna join any other social media. Like I'm gonna stick to Instagram, Twitter, like whatever I was on.
Those same
point,
accounts.
Like, I don't have a TikTok.
Really?
Yeah, man. Like,
you got to get a TikTok.
Yeah, I have to. I got to get on it.
You got to get a TikTok. Shout out to C. Thorpe, the man with the plan. He says, what's the new 2K League setup in Washington, D.C., and how has it been differentiated from the setup in Indy?
Oh, that's a great question.
Excellent question.
So in DC, man, like the DC setup that we have right now, they call it District E. Mm-hmm. It's actually run by the Washington Wizards. Like they have their own facility, their own like setup, their own esports venue, and it's top notch, man. Like it's like state of the art. Like they have everything. It's brand new.
That's hard.
They actually have like a small sports bar within the venue, so like any random person, like a casual fan, can go there, get get some food, get some drinks.
That's hard.
And they're gonna be watching like the 2K League being happening at the same time.
So it's like going to a game almost.
Right.
You get a drink.
And then it's like, yeah, like, cause it's like right there on Capital One Arena. So like, let's say someone goes to a hockey game or one of the Wizards game, and they want to stop at the sports bar and maybe get a drink. All of a sudden, you have all these screens and you're watching esports, and you have a stage right next to you where there's guys yelling at each other, like talking trash and playing 2K. Yeah. So it's like a whole different experience, and I feel like it makes it like more like close in a way, like
and like what Willie said, getting the word out there. Because definitely, if I'm walking in State Farm and I see some guys with controllers about to go at it, I'm definitely gonna say,
exactly.
What's going on?
Yeah, it's just, and then it's NBA fans that are walking into your arena and they're watching their NBA 2K League team playing right there. You know, like the whole idea is really smart, and I feel like that's gonna bring a lot of business, a lot of fans, and a lot of people. So like, you know, you follow the 2K League and the Wizards as a whole. And then like in terms of like how is it different from the setup in Indy, last season we had a huge, it was like a warehouse, like an abandoned warehouse that the NBA kind of like got into and then just transformed into like a 2-stage venue. Yeah, like it was that was like top notch. Like it was out of this world, man. Like it was really fun just being out there. A lot of people in Indianapolis like kind of like got to know about the 2K League. Started going out to the games. Like school kids would come to the games. That's like hard. Yeah, like it was, you know, like I feel like that's the thing about esports is like people don't really know about it, but when it's right there, when it's like attainable and close to them, like where they can access it,
you can tap
people are really into it. It's like, oh my God, I didn't know this was going on here in my city. Like I want to check it out. I want to support it.
I should have been doing
this. Yeah, like it happens to me all the time, man. Like out here in Atlanta, like maybe I take a ride home in an Uber or whatever. Someone's asking me like, oh, what were you doing in State Farm Arena? I tell them what I do, and they're like, oh my God, I didn't know we had teams. That's crazy. Like I have a friend that plays 2K all the time. Like how can you know what I'm saying? Like the reaction is always so natural. It's so like exciting for people to know about esports
because it's like it's a favorite pastime for a lot of people. I feel like it's just, you know, it's definitely a bonding moment. Right. When you find somebody who plays 2K, you're like, yo, what's your deal? You know? Yeah. And it's a whole hour-long base conversation after that. Shout out to Ceez. Checking in the building.
Is that the Ceez though?
Ceez, let us know if this is you. Say yes, this is the real Ceez. Comment that.
If this is the real Ceez, we might have to pull it in. I want to hear from him.
Definitely.
Yeah, you gotta call in.
Ceez, you gotta have to call in if this is you. Yeah, get a part of the conversation, man. Get a part of the conversation. Like I said, that's the great thing about Imp. You guys can talk with us. That is the PG. Ceez, go ahead and call in, man. We want to hear from you.
Man, Ceez is the guy that's been with the Hawks Talon GC franchise for the longest time. Like he's been here 3 years now. Yeah. In a way, like he's the vet. He's Come on, Ceez. Come on, call in.
Come on, Ceez.
Talk to us for a little bit.
Join in, brother. As we're waiting for Ceez to join us, like I said before, make sure you guys are commenting in the chat and make sure you guys are calling in, letting us know how you guys feel.
Man, oh man, oh man.
Now the Atlanta esports 2K scene. How do you feel about that? I feel like it should. Now I'm not really aware of all the tournaments that go on, but I feel like it could always be more.
Yeah, I'm actually not that familiar with the local scene. You know, like with the 2K League season, man. Like we always locked in playing our games. Like we really don't get that much time to like go out there and like
see what's going on,
share with other gaming communities and all that. I mean, I would love to do it more. I know the guys are like really big fans of the Call of Duty League, and they always like really close to like and following FaZe Atlanta. Like I know that's an organization that the guys are really, really excited about.
Yeah.
I know they're here in Atlanta. They represent a lot of the gaming community out here.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like local tournaments and all that, I remember last year we did a couple HBCU tournaments that we made appearances and we kind of helped them out. Sometimes our guy Taylor Ashford that works with the communities, like he hooks it up and brings us to like local boys and girls clubs and stuff, and we kind of like bring our systems and set it up for them so they can play the 2K and get to know the players and all that. And I know it's a growing community. I know that. Definitely. I know it's a growing scene. I know there's a lot of stuff going on in Atlanta, you know, like with music, entertainment, and all that. Like it being so close to like gaming and like pop culture right now. I feel like Atlanta just makes sense for Atlanta to be like one of the hubs for esports and gaming.
It's growing for sure. Shout out to C Thork again. He says, "Who are some of your favorite NBA 2K content creators on Twitch or YouTube?"
I have to say MDS. If not, I'm gonna get in trouble. One of my guys, but yeah, he's really good. He's really good at it. I really like iPod King Carter. I always remember watching his videos, his builds, and all that. Like I feel like that's one of the guys that I follow probably the longest right now. Pretty Boy Fredo. Yeah. I watch a lot of his videos back in the days too. Man, there's so many. But I just, as a coach and being with the competitive side of 2K, like most of the things that I watch is probably Twitch and it's Pro-Am. So it's not really as much content creation as it is like competitive footage of games for me just to like scout and get to know the new players that are coming out in the community. But yeah, man, those guys that I mentioned, Pretty Boy Fredo, iPod King Carter, shout out to those guys. They've been getting it done for years now, and I'm a big fan.
I mean, my hands down favorite is obviously MDS. I mean, I feel like he's one of the drippiest content creators in NBA 2K.
He's trying.
You know, I get a lot of my style from him. So, you know, shout out to my dog MDS, man. Hopefully we could try to get Chef Caesar into the chat. But like I said, man, you guys request, let us know. We definitely want to talk to you guys. But yeah, Coach, what are your plans for the weekend? It's almost the weekend, man.
Man, I have no plans actually.
Really?
I'm probably just gonna sit at home and maybe just play games, bro. Like, I'm really excited about this new Street Fighter 6 I've been talking about. Like I'm playing it a lot, so maybe I'm just gonna dedicate this weekend to just like relax. Reassess myself, you know. Like, it's been a stressful season, so I just need some me time now. Just like kind of like play games and just disconnect.
I feel that. Speaking of being stressed somewhat, Cinco Wallace asked, Coach, how do you prepare the guys for the games?
Oh, that's a good question, Cinco. So yeah, man, like it's a lot similar to like traditional sports. So we practice pretty much every day, 6 times a week, most weeks. We come in, we have like an hour, we watch film. We watch film on ourselves, on other teams. Sometimes we just kind of like go through like the analytics, the stats and all that, and just kind of like, you know, break that down, see what we're doing right, what we're doing wrong. We also play scrimmages against other NBA 2K League teams. The guys, they have like designated time where they just shoot around, they practice their dribble moves, their animations and all that. And man, these guys are here in the lab probably 6-7 hours a day, and that's how they prepare for games.
Just getting better at it. Now I believe we have the superstar, the man of the hour in the building. Ceez, how are you?
Yo, what's the word, fellas? How y'all doing?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Doing good, man. I'm doing great.
So talk to us, man. I mean, just left practice. How was practice today?
Practice was good today. I ain't gonna lie, you know, a little 4-0 sweep at the night, end of the day early.
Fire.
Feel good.
Fire.
It was good for the mental. Man, Ceez, now that we have you here, as a player, like the things that you've heard, the rumors that you've heard about NBA 2K24, what do you think about? Like, do you like it? What's more exciting about it?
Oh, man, it's crossplay, man. Get the little thing going around where like Xbox versus PS5, like it's dead now. Like, that's dead. This shit, you're gonna see who's the better console. Like, you're gonna see who comes out on top.
I respect that.
Thanks. Ceez, before you get ready for some of like your biggest games, how do you prepare for it?
Man, I'm not gonna lie. I'm probably the normalest guy ever, man. I just walk in, like, probably grab a water bottle and just like, that's it. That's all I do. I'm a super normal guy. I just cut to the chase and just get ready to play.
I feel it.
Man, now that we have you here, we was talking about the matchups now in the turn. Like we were watching the Nets the Nets series and now the Pacers Gen G series. You as a player, like being plugged in, like knowing about the league, how do you see those series going, and what are your hot takes? What are your predictions?
Man, I'm not gonna lie. I'm biased. My boy's on the Cavs, so I'm gonna pick the Cavs to win it all. Like I'm just biased right now. But right now, as I've seen the game, I feel like the Pistons are just the hottest team on right now. Like they're just too hot for everybody in this game right now. Like they went 6-0 in group play. They came out, beat the Knicks. Like man, they're just all hitting on all cylinders right now. And like Sixers, typically they want to ban the last one tip off. So they're just typical Sixers. And you can see the turn. There's teams that are picking it up on the right time. Like you're gonna see teams just pick it up. Like the odds to just beat the number 1 seed like as an upset. Like teams like that just come in with fire. Like it's the last tournament of the season.
Yeah, like there's a question that they asked me last episode, and it was about like who was the toughest matchup for Hawks Talon GC this season. I want to pass down that question for you, and like what team would you say was the toughest matchup for us this year?
Toughest matchup. Man, if I had to say, it probably would have been the Oz Gaming. It had to be done for me. It's for me, especially just I don't know. They just played really well on Sunday. They slow the game down to because sometimes we may go fast. They might just slow the game down super slow. Where it's like you play at their pace. Like I feel like that team is the only team that feel like really gave me the challenge. But like I feel like everybody else, I feel like we just beat ourselves. Like we just beat ourselves. So like they really weren't like better than us, but we let them be better than us, as I can say.
Okay.
I feel. Now, see, Cinco Wallace has a question for you. What happened versus the Hornets, man?
Oh man.
Man, the Hornets game was intense, bro. Like we're on third quarter, we're like hitting on all cylinders. I'm about to get team take. I got badge. Like
Yeah.
Quarter, like it's just.
Yeah, nah. We talked about that one already last episode, man. Like, I don't want to go back to that, man. Like, that was traumatizing. I don't want to talk about that anymore. Like, let's just move on, man. Come on.
I feel that. So, Ceez, go-to song before you cut your system on to lock in for a game. Go-to song. Only one.
You said what again?
Only one song.
Only one song. Right now, or just like all the time? I change it like every like a new album come out. Like I get like right now my go-to song is Taylor Porter by Rylo Rodriguez. Like that's my go-to right now. Like I hear that song all the time. Fire. That's a good album, man. Well, Ceez, we appreciate you for hopping on, man, talking to us. We wish you the best of luck with the rest of your endeavors this season, man. Yes, sir. Hopefully win the ticket, man. That's our goal right now. Yes.
Hopefully, we're going to win the ticket.
All right, know y'all going to go ahead and lock in. Make it happen.
All right, y'all. Thank you for having me.
All right, man. Thank you. Man, that was a packed show today, man. We did a lot. It felt like we did a lot
of stuff. We got Ceez on here. We had Cartridge ATL. Shout out to Willie. Today was a great show. Always, you guys can catch us right here with the On Amp app. With Coach's Corner, I'm Manni Supreme. I got my dog, Coach Milo.
Man, no. This was good, man. Like we're getting it. Like we're getting better. Yeah, we're getting better.
We're definitely getting better.
Now we have a rhythm going on, man. We have a rhythm going on. I like this. I'm having fun here.
Fact. Shout out to everybody who's in the chat. Shout out to everybody who got added. Like I said, that's the great thing about AMP. It's a convo. It's not just us talking. It's us talking with y'all. So, hey, man, another edition, episode 2. I can't wait till it's episode 2 million, man. We set a world record on
Thank you all for supporting us, man, joining the conversation.
Facts.
And we hope to see you guys again for another episode of Coach's Corner.
Yes, sir.
See you guys.